Hi everybody, it's been a while since I posted one of my Fitness Fusion workouts. This would be a lesson plan I would teach for a class called Boom Mind, where we're only doing standing work. I teach both, one where it's all standing, and then a 45-minute version where we do go down on the floor. This will be all standing. I do have some music on today. You might be able to hear it. It's from my live stream playlist that I'm allowed to use. If not, get your own nice, relaxing music on and join me. So we're gonna start standing mountain. So feet neutral under our hips. I always like to start with just a little rock and roll front to back. And then you'll just find that neutral center that feels right for you. I am wearing shoes. I do teach my long class barefoot on a mat. I teach the short class in fitness shoes. We'll inhale both arms up and exhale down. This is a fusion of yoga and Pilates. And then sometimes a little bit of more traditional strength and stretching techniques thrown in. Let's take the arms halfway down. We're going to draw the shoulder blades together with an inhale. We'll exhale, hug that big oak tree. Now bring the hands, fingers spread right behind the ears with our inhale. Then we exhale, we try to touch the fingers behind that low back. So we inhale, open. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. And exhale, squeeze back. Let's do that one more time. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Both arms come up, big inhale. We'll do a swan dive halfway down. So we're gonna hinge. We're gonna reach forward with our chest. And we're gonna spinal roll up slowly. Shoulders finish up, down and back. This is always an option. I will do what's called a Fusion Sun Flow 1, where we'll go all the way to the floor. And if that is not comfortable, you're gonna stay here at this halfway. And then do maybe a little cat and a little open, and then just stand up tall. So let's take it down towards the floor. Hands can rest anywhere down, maybe shins. Maybe if you're feeling very flexible, you can reach the toes, soften your knees. Now I'm gonna go ahead and release. I'm gonna fold the crown of my head down. Now I'm gonna reach forward with my chest. I come right quickly back through that half lift, but we basically will come all the way up, big strong backs, and release arms down. Let's do that again. So we'll inhale. Swan dive halfway or all the way towards the floor. Find your supporting spot. Fold down. Now we'll inhale, lengthen chest forward, and that's when we begin to bring those arms out to the side and up. Let's do that breath one more time. Swan dive, fold. Soft knees. Release the crown of your head. Pull the crown, pull the chest forward, reach the arms out, and come on up. Let's go ahead and reach, sit back into some chair squats. So we'll do these as repetitions. Big inhale up. Exhale, sweep back. Arms can be forward or they can be up by the ears, maintaining our best posture. Do one more chair. We'll inhale up. Let's do that sun flow number 1. So we hinge forward, soft knees, either halfway or all the way down. And then we'll round, fold, crown of our head down. Now open the crown forward, open the chest, arms come out from the body. Big inhale up. Let's do one chair. Inhale, arms up. And float those hands down. Moving into our first working phase, we'll keep the right foot forward, we'll take the left toe back. This is a lunge position. If keeping the weight up or keeping the heel up for a period of time bothers you, go ahead and take it down on the floor, maybe just spin the toes slightly out, and you can do the same thing. All right, arms are forward here. Draw the shoulders back. We're gonna lower slowly, down 2. We're down for 2, and we're up for 2. So if I were choosing the warrior, I would just take a little lunge, and then a full straighten. We're gonna watch that that front knee does not go beyond that big toe. So this would be your option if you can't do the lunge. I'm gonna flip it back out. I'm gonna lower and lift, making sure your feet are on 2 separate lines. Keep these nice and slow and even movement pace. Shoulders draw down, long spine from the tailbone, right up and out through the crown of our head. We'll do one more. Stepping forward into your right foot, we're going to tap that left toe in. Arms out from the shoulders to help us balance. We're going to bring that left knee up. Just hold this, about 3 to 5 breaths. Let's go and release down. Other side, same sequence. Your left foot will stay forward. So we're gonna step back, feet are apart. The heel is up or the heel is down and you're turned out just slightly. Arms forward, shoulders drawn back. We go down for 2 and up for 2. And down. So thinking long spine, imagine that string pulling right up through the top of the head to the ceiling. So I'm going to move into that other option. If the ball of the foot does not feel comfortable, you're going to go down 2. You're going to take the knee slightly forward, but you will pull it all the way back. So it gives you some room to move and shift that weight. I'm going to go back to the lunge on the next one. Flip that toe out, down for 2. One more. Down, down. Oh, let's do one more. I've got my music phrasing here. All right. Bring the arms down, let the shoulders rest, tap that right toe in. Preparing for single leg balance, arms out from the shoulders, push that left foot strong into the floor. Picking up the right knee, it can be wherever it needs to be. You can flex, you can point, you can relax the foot. About 3 to 5 breaths. And release. All right, let's walk that out. I'm gonna grab a quick sip of water. We'll come back. We have a sequence of warriors, warrior 2, reverse warrior, side angle, and then a crescent lunge, which we will do a quarter turn to face the side of the room for that. So let's begin, warrior 2, heel toe, taking the left toes to this wall. Open up the stride so it's comfortable. The long edge of your foot parallel with this wall over here. Shoulders align right over those hips. Arms extend out through the fingertips. Draw the shoulders down. So we can gaze over our hand to the right. If that makes you uncomfortable, keep your gaze forward. Let's turn that right palm up. We'll just slide gently with the rib cage, and then we'll open up that right side to reverse warrior. Keeping this lunge position in your right side, little support on that left hand behind. Now I'm going to come back through that warrior 2. I'm going to go into modified side angle, so that means we are staying fairly upright here. We are looking to have a line of energy right down that left side. See if we can turn outward here. Now bring the hands to the hips. We're going to quarter turn to the left wall, crescent lunge. Now crescent lunge is straight leg, but heel is lifted, and we draw those arms up. Very similar to warrior 1, and in fact, as an option, this could be warrior 1 for you. Release the arms down. We're going to carefully turn back to the front. All we've done is flip those left toes. Let's come back to warrior 2. Right palm up, a little bit of movement. And then we'll open to reverse warrior. Flowing back through warrior two, side angle. This time I'm going to try to keep the arm up by my ear. I'm going to do that little quarter pivot to the side left wall and then bring the other arm up to match. And then one more time, little quarter turn with that left foot. That's all we need to do. Palm up and to reverse warrior. Back to warrior two, side angle. It does help to open the hips before you initiate that quarter turn. Then the other arm will come up to match. Open up that hip flexor. Release the arms down. And then just walk your feet in comfortably. You do that same sequence over to the left. So toes pointing to the left wall. The back side of your right foot, the long edge, parallel to this wall, toes are forward. We square our body forward, shoulders align over hips. Release those shoulders down. Soft gaze over the fingertips if that's comfortable. Let's take that left palm up. Movement slightly forward through the rib cage. And then pull that back into reverse. Side angle is next. We flow very briefly through that warrior two. On this first one, take a second to challenge your ability to revolve outward here. Now, first time on this side, I'm going to bring the hands to the hips. I'm going to carefully pivot. So heel is up for crescent, or I'm going to put it down, open out those toes for warrior one. Sweep both arms up by the ears. See if you can straighten that back leg. Now, quarter turn, so all we need to do is flip those right toes forward. Come right back into your warrior two. Palm up, reverse warrior. Back through warrior two into side angle. Revolving outward, away from the floor. Now, open the hip, keep the arm up if we can. Do that little quarter pivot, then bring that back arm up to meet the front. Open the trunk, draw the shoulders down. Soft gaze upward if that's comfortable, or steering straight ahead. One more time, we're going to do the quarter turn back. Right toes face the front, warrior two. Palm up, reverse warrior. Side angle. Open at the hip, ready for that quarter turn to the side wall. Draw the back arm up. Nice big open front. Now release the arms down and walk in comfortably. Shake that out. Excuse me. Turn this down a little bit. Got very loud all of a sudden. All right, we're gonna move into working phase number 3. Lunge to warrior 3, flowing our repetitions. So this is balance effort. If you think you might want to have a little chair handy, please do, rather than bounce all over the room. And then eventually try to work yourself off of that chair or balance assisting object. We're gonna have the right leg down. We're gonna come back into our lunge. Let's take those hands forward. Now I'm just gonna flow right into warrior 3. My hip is forward, keep the arms forward. We'll start kind of small here, maybe hinging at the hip just 20 to 30 degrees, keeping my chest forward. Now I'm going to come upright, step back. I'm trying to flow from one to the other. Now here's another option. If you want to bend more at the hip, but those arms forward is too much of a challenge. Personally, I prefer this arm position for my warrior 3s. I'm going to come back. See, even I fall out of my warrior 3s. We all do. So I'm going to push forward, arms open again. Keep that hip turned in, so your kneecap is facing the floor on your warrior 3. Now flex that heel, toes point down, draw the shoulder blades in, crown of the head pull long, opposition from your tailbone. Now let's come up, let's do one more, see how this goes. Arms forward, lower into your lunge, come up, and hinge. So remember, you have any angle at that hip you want. can be 10 degrees to 90 if you're lucky. And let's just bring that on in and close. So you should be feeling this right gluteal quite a bit, but we are not done. I'm gonna take that left heel forward. So arms forward here, draw the shoulders down. So we can keep the heel on the floor. We're gonna pull back and stand tall. Push into that right foot. Now I'm going to try to do this lifting the heel. So maybe I make my squat a little smaller. Reach back. You've got to fold at those hips, or that knee will uncomfortably travel too far forward. Remember, if you have your chair, it's the first time you've done this, use that chair so we learn the technique. I'm going to do one more here. You will find this on silversneakers.com, by the way, believe it or not. All right, now we're going to keep this leg, our worker leg. We're going to take this curtsy behind. We're going to sink down. Grab that ball in your hands, imaginary, and just rotate. Now I'm going to rotate both directions. You won't go too far when you twist towards the back. I want you to keep your hips, your lower body stable while you twist at the waist. So I'm not stepping in and out. I'm not changing the rotation in my hips or the angle at my knees. Everything stays the same. And let's just do one more. Come back into your neutral center. Arms are forward from the chest. Release and come on in. All right, so we've got to do the other side. So if you are going to use a chair, I suggest putting it over on this side because that's going to be our working, balancing leg. So take those hands forward. The first one I do, I'm only going to hinge at my hips of maybe 10 and 20 degrees. So I will keep my arms forward here. And I'm going to pull up. This is a great option. This is, I call it an upright bird dog, cross body lift. But it's more of a hip extension than a hinge. So if that suits you better, you're really still challenging your balance. Now I'm going to go to a fuller warrior 3. So I'm going to take my arms out to that airplane position. Flex that foot. I'm going to hinge deeper into that front left hip. Now as I open up, I'm going to try to keep my balance. As I bring the arms forward, I'm going to keep that right toe off the floor if I can. Then step back into where I want it for my lunge. So that's going to be how we're going to try to flow from our fitness style lunge to our warrior 3 or standing hip and arm extension. Ah, lost it. Come on back. Lower down. We have 2 more chances here. Last chance, it'll be our best, I'm sure of it. It'll be our best because we just gave it a shot. And open. Release those arms down, walk it out for a second. We still have our heel front balance single leg squat. So let's start with the heel on the floor. Arms forward, the arms will counterbalance as we hinge back, chest stays forward. And then we come on up. Now, see if we can lift that heel off the floor. Maybe we go a little smaller with that heel off the floor. So sometimes you have to make a decision. Do I want my heel down, work deeper into that single leg squat to the back, or do I want to work a little more of my balance, make that squat a little smaller, but have the heel off the floor? There's no wrong answer there. It's all good work. You'll really feel that left side on this. It's working really hard to keep you from falling over. And let's try one more. And we're almost done. Believe it or not, I go into my kind of restorative moves next. Release down. Setting up in our curtsy, you will keep your left foot in front. I'm going to angle, kind of turn my body to face the corner of my room. I'm a little bit rotated outward comfortably, and then I'm going to sit myself down. Whatever feels comfortable for you, your hips, your knees, your feet. Draw those shoulders back, holding that imaginary ball. We're gonna rotate to the front. That's our big rotation. As we go to the back, it's gonna be a little bit more of a challenge. We don't have the range of motion. So don't force to the back to equal the front. It will not happen without you toppling backwards. Well, I shouldn't say it won't happen. I'm gonna say the chances aren't good. But our real work is going to be to the front, and then we just kind of go into a lengthening of that side we just shortened towards the back. So think of it that way. So we're really tightening over here to your left, and then we're going to kind of open that left side as we do a soft rotation away. Use your breath however suits you on these moves. Some are very obvious, inhale, exhale. Something like this is just however you started. You're just going to continue. One movement has your inhale, and the other will have your exhale. And let's do one more. Since I'm talking all the time, mine is never where I'd really like it to be. Now, we'll come to this neutral position. So the fingertips reach straight forward from the chest, release those hands down, and shake it out. Let's grab a sip of water here. It's a good time. We're going to move into what's kind of called our calming restorative poses. Because this is all standing, they don't feel quite as calming and restorative as they would if we were on the floor. But we'll do our best. So we're going to start with our feet aligned under the hips, soft knees, roll the shoulders down, arms will come out. Just a straight arm twist. Keeping our hips squared forward, only turning at the waist. Come to neutral center. Take both hands over to that left hip. Draw the shoulders down, sink into the knees a little bit. And I want you to turn at the waist as if you're talking to somebody behind you. And then we'll come center, switch hands to the other side, draw the shoulders down, and then turn at the waist. This is our spinal twist. We're doing it standing. And we will come back to neutral center. We will balance on your right foot, the left toe is back. So think of this as maybe a locust pose on the floor, but we're doing it standing. So we're trying to open the front, shorten the muscles down the spine, and right into the gluteals down the back. And release, feet come down. We're gonna hinge. We're gonna open with an inhale, cow pose. We're gonna exhale, rounding, lengthening into cat. Inhale, open. Exhale, flexing and extending the spine. Flexing and extending the abdominal wall. Now, next time, let's come down to neutral. We're gonna keep your right hand. We're gonna take that left arm out and we're gonna twist. Keep the hinge forward in your hips and hips square. Now I'm just gonna come right over, flow to the other side. Arm goes out, and then we rotate up and down the spine. Come back to center, let's go ahead. Bring that upright. We'll keep the right foot forward, take the left toe back. We're gonna go into that lunge position. Think pelvic tuck, quadricep, hip flexor. Hands come behind. Gently open the front. Step in, let's go to hamstring stretch. So we sit back, draw the shoulders down, chest pulls forward, toes come back to the shin. Step into that right foot. Toe down tree pose. So that means we're gonna open the hip, toe is on the floor. See if we can take the toe up. See if we can cross the ankle over the shin with a flexed foot. See if we can sit back slightly in a single leg squat. If hands need to be here, that's great. Now, if you are feeling really confident and you've done this before, you can bring that heel above the knee. Focus a little more on externally rotating in that hip. This is our pigeon pose, standing position. One of my favorite poses when I'm laying on the floor. All right, let's open this up. and take that down. All right, let's do this on the other side. Feet are aligned, neutral under the hips, soft knees, arms are out, draw the shoulders down. Big inhale, exhale, twisting. Back to center. Other side. Back to center. One more. Returning to center, moving into our spinal twist. Hands go to the hip, draw the shoulders down, soften the knees. Keeping the hips squared forward, turning at my waist, looking or glancing over my shoulder. Come through center, slowly. Switch those hands, repositioning our posture, and go the other way. Bring it on back to center. Cross body lift. We will have our left foot down this time. Right leg extends. Left arm reaches up. So we're opening here, squeezing the gluteal, tightening the muscles up and down the spine. I am sitting down slightly in that left leg. Try to open the front. And release. Hinge forward, cow pose. Cat pose, round. Cow pose, open. Cat and round. Let's go ahead and go to neutral here. Take your left arm out from the shoulder, palm down. Hips stay square and level, and we rotate up the spine. Bring it back down, flowing right into the other side. Arm out, hips stay square. Rotate up the spine. Come back and release. Let's open up. Keep the left foot down. Take that right toe back, sit it down. Pelvic tuck. Hands lace behind us and we open the front. So this is kind of a modified standing, adapted version of a bow pose, single leg. So we're again, opening the front through the upper body, opening the front and the hip and quadricep. Now let's go ahead and shift our weight back, hamstring. Flex the toes back to the shin, draw the shoulder blades down. Oh, I think I just did the same side again, didn't I? Oh, I always get confused, I even write it out. Let's open that up. Let's go ahead and take that foot down. I'll tell you what, I'm having a real challenge here in my brain. I always taught mirroring. Then I had to switch to matching because of social distancing. And then I come back and do some filming and it's mirroring again and it is messing with my brain. So here I'm gonna move into that low pigeon. So I can stay here and then try to just sit back a little. Reach with my tailbone behind me. And now I'll come up and if I want to, I can bring that heel up higher, rotate that knee down and out, and then sit back. So there's definitely stages of progression on this one. For some of you, standing in the pigeon, tree pose with the toe down, but rotating the hip using your muscle, that's gonna be enough for you. You'll feel that work in the hip and opening it up. All right, let's come on up, release, shake it out. So if in fact I have done the wrong side twice, or the same side twice, please take a second, get the quadricep and hip flexor and hamstring combination on the other leg, because I don't want to refilm the whole thing for the last minute. All right, let's release. Inhale up. Exhale, let's wave the clouds away, throwing in a little bit of movement from my Silver Sneakers energy. Let's wave those clouds away. It's a bright, 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 sunny and hot day today for sure. And one more time. I'm going to float my hands forward to shoulder level, palms down. Release the hands. Go ahead and bring my hands heart center. And thank you very much for joining me. Have a great day, everybody.